Today I'm here with Take Back the Night organizer Sarah Moore and coordinator of campus service programs Amy Braswell. Thanks for coming back today.
You're welcome.
It's good to have you both here. Now you're here today to talk about Take Back the Night. Tell me what that is.
Take Back the Night is an event that promotes sexual assault awareness. Many times victims of sexual assault have the power taken away from them, and Take Back the Night is an event that restores that power and allows people who have been sexually assaulted to have a voice and to break the silence.
Now how does it kind of give back the power?
A lot of times people who are sexually assaulted think it's their fault, so they don't really tell anyone. They're not able to tell their story. And so this way we have, there's a special part of Take Back the Night event that is called a Speak Out. And it allows people who have been sexually assaulted to come forward and, tell their story. And once you're given a voice, you kind of feel like you have the power to own your sexual assault, and that way the person who has sexually assaulted you doesn't have that power anymore over you.
Okay. Is it hard for people that have been sexually assaulted to come to this event and speak out? Or is there just so much support there where a comfort zone is created?
It's definitely the whole thought of Take Back the Night is to create a safe zone so where people can come and just be open. And we also have people from the Crisis Center, and Amy will be there as well, to talk it out if people do have problems and they have been sexually assaulted and they need to talk to someone. So there's always counselors there to work through your issues, and it's a good place, a good safe place to come.
And when is Take Back the Night?
April 13th. It's the end of Emory Service Week. It's in the Board of Visitors Lounge at 8 p.m. And it's a culmination of several events that are going to be occurring that week that Sarah's in the process of planning, including a walk to raise awareness against sexual assault and violence, and a T-shirt program that's called the Clothesline Project, where victims or people who are advocates can paint T-shirts. And those T-shirts will be displayed on campus during the week as a way of just providing awareness and increasing awareness of sexual assault.
Okay, so there are lots of events that lead up to this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the actual Take Back the Night, how is that structured? Is it like a ceremony? Is it, tell me a little bit about the structure.
Well, we'll begin probably with a video loop that has some statistics of sexual assault. And then we'll move into be able to see the Clothesline Project, because it will be out the whole week before Take Back the Night. And then we're going to have a speaker who has been a victim of sexual assault, and she has a wonderful story. You'll have to come and hear her speak. And then we'll have...
Who is the speaker?
Her name is Linda Motley.
Mm-hmm. She was a victim of sexual assault when she had just graduated from college. She was living on her own, and unlike most victims, 48% of victims know their attacker by being in a relationship with them, either married, dating, that kind of thing. Over 78% of victims know their attacker through other means, friendship. Linda Motley's story is very unique because she's one of that small percentage that it was a stranger assault. And she was one of the first DNA cases in Virginia. Because of the time period when she was assaulted, DNA wasn't used to prosecute. And the gentleman who was her primary investigator kept the evidence. Of course, everything is secured, and went back almost 20 years later and was able to extract DNA from the evidence that was retrieved after her assault. And then they found her assailant, who was a serial rapist. He'd raped over 7 women and was already in prison at the time that Linda's case came to trial.
Wow, so when was this case finally closed?
It was finally closed in the late 90s, mid-90s. I'm not sure. It never went fully to trial because since he was already in prison, the state of Virginia refused to use money to prosecute him. So the charges were initially filed, but it wasn't ever followed through with. But her assault actually happened in the late 80s.
So I bet she'll have a very interesting story.
Mm-hmm. She's a very powerful speaker. She spoke at the Red Flag campaign in, was it October? Mm-hmm. And so we wanted to bring her back for the event. And her speech will kind of help us break into the Speak Out, because then we want to make sure that people feel safe and they're able to come out and speak after. And we're hoping that her strong speech and empowerment with her sexual assault will allow other people to come out. And
Now, is this event open to Emory and Henry students only, or are people from around the community invited to come and share their own experiences?
It's open to the whole community. All the events during the week are open to the community. The march, which will be happening on that Tuesday prior to this, will be in Abingdon. It's co-sponsored through the Power Resource Center, Appalachian Center, and then Barter Theater is hosting the event through some of our connections there. And they're hosting the actual reception after the march. And that's the big community event during the week. But even the talk, Take Back the Night, even that is going to be part open to the community.
Oh, awesome. Now tell me a little bit more about the statistics. Let's close with statistics.
Well, the statistics vary depending on what website you use. One of the resources that we use is RAIN, which is the Rape, Abuse, Incest National Network, and they gain all of their statistics specifically from Department of Criminal Justice. And so a lot of the statistics they have maybe a little bit lower than what is reported to crisis centers, because not a very small percentage of victims actually file charges and report. 1 in 6 women and 1 in 30 men is the statistics used by RAIN, which is Rape Incest Network. And that is typical. That's just for sexual assault. Sexual assault includes sexual battery, which is like unwanted touching, groping, attempted rape, and rape, which is actually forced intercourse. So that's the main statistic. Again, most victims know their attacker. And one of the reasons why we want to do, and this is the second year in a row that we've done this, one of the reasons we wanted to do this is because statistically speaking, 60%, there's been a 60% decrease in the number of sexual assaults reported since '93. And part of that is because of increased awareness. And so that's one of the reasons why the Crisis Center and the Appalachian Center for Community Services partnered to really increase sexual awareness on campus, specifically at Emory Henry.
Well, that is wonderful. Thank you both so much for coming
You're
by
welcome.
today.
Thank you for having
Thank you.
us.
Thank you.